The council chamber floated in the void between stars, a massive ring of metal and light where 50 alien species gathered to decide the fate of galaxies. Today, they had gathered to discuss one topic: humanity. Ambassador Rex of the Talon Empire stood at the center platform, his 3 eyes scanning the circular room. "The humans refuse our terms," he announced, his voice carrying across the chamber. "They demand equal representation in the council." Laughter erupted from multiple sections. The sound was strange clicks, whistles, and deep rumbles mixing together. Equal representation? High Chancellor Vorm leaned forward from his elevated seat. His scales glowed purple with amusement. "They have been in space for barely 2 centuries. My species had faster-than-light travel when their ancestors were still living in caves." More laughter followed. Commander Lisa Grant stood in the human delegation area, her jaw clenched. She wore the dark blue uniform of Earth's diplomatic corps, and her face remained calm despite the mockery around her. "Perhaps," Lisa said, her voice cutting through the noise, "you should judge us by our present capabilities, not our past." "Your present capabilities?" Vorm waved a clawed hand dismissively. "You have 12 colony worlds. The Talon Empire has 4,000. You have no dreadnought-class vessels. You possess no gravity weapons. Your population is tiny compared to ours." "Numbers are not everything," Lisa replied. "In war, they are everything," Vorm shot back. His expression hardened. "And since you refuse to accept your proper place in the galactic order, this council has decided to teach you a lesson." Lisa felt ice in her stomach. "What do you mean?" "As of this moment," Vorm declared, standing from his seat, "all human systems are under economic blockade. No species may trade with Earth or its colonies. No ships may dock at human stations. You have 6 months to reconsider your position and accept the terms we offer. Limited membership with no voting rights." The chamber erupted in approval. Delegates from dozens of species signaled their agreement with lights, sounds, and gestures. Lisa looked around the room, seeing the smug satisfaction on alien faces. They thought this would break humanity in weeks. They thought humans would beg for mercy. They were wrong. "This is a mistake," Lisa said quietly, but her voice carried in the sudden silence that followed the vote. "A terrible mistake." Vorm laughed, a deep booming sound. "A mistake? Girl, do you understand what you face? Every advanced civilization in this galaxy will turn against you. Your people will starve. Your colonies will wither. In 6 months, you will crawl back to us and accept whatever scraps we offer." Lisa met his eyes without flinching. "My species survived ice ages. We survived plagues that killed millions. We survived wars that split atoms and burned cities to ash. We survived because we never give up and we never forget." "Survival is not victory," Vorm replied. "You cannot fight the entire galaxy. We will see." Lisa turned and walked toward the exit. Her small delegation followed 3 other humans against a chamber of hundreds of aliens. "Ambassador Grant," Vorm called after her, "when you return in 6 months to beg forgiveness, remember this moment. Remember your pride. It will make your surrender all the sweeter." Lisa stopped at the doorway but did not turn around. "When we meet again, Chancellor, you will be the one with regrets. I promise you that." She left the chamber, and the door sealed behind her with a heavy thud dot in the council chamber. The celebration continued. The species that had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years congratulated each other on handling the human problem. They shared drinks and made plans to divide human territory once the blockade forced. Earth surrender. None of them noticed the worried expression on Ambassador Tora's face. The Nexian diplomat had studied humanity more than most. He had read their history, watched their entertainment, analyzed their culture. He knew something the others did not. Humans were at their most dangerous when backed into a corner, but Torah said nothing. Some lessons, he thought, could only be learned through experience. The Council had made their choice. Now they would discover what humanity truly meant by the phrase, "never surrender." The war had not yet begun, but the galaxy would soon understand why that was about to change. Asterisk, 3 months passed since the blockade began. In the Council chamber, High Chancellor Vorn reviewed reports with growing confusion. Something was wrong. The blockade should have crippled humanity by now, but the intelligence reports painted a different picture. "They are not starving," Ambassador Rex said, floating holographic charts in the air. "Our scouts report that human colonies are functioning normally. Some are even expanding. How is this possible?" Vorn demanded. "We cut off all trade routes." "They adapted," Rex replied, his voice uncertain. "Within weeks of the blockade, human ships stopped trying to break through. Instead, they turned inward. They are using resources we considered worthless asteroids with low mineral content, ice comets, gas giants we ignored. They are building everything themselves." Vorn's scales flickered with annoyance. "Let them build. Without advanced technology, they cannot threaten us." That was when the first attacks began. Captain Cole stood on the bridge of the human vessel Defiant, watching his tactical display. The ship was small compared to alien dreadnoughts, barely 300 meters long. But it was fast and quiet. "Target acquired," his weapons officer reported. "Talon supply convoy, 6 freighters with 2 escort cruisers." "Range?" Cole asked. 200,000 kilometers. "They have not detected us." Cole smiled grimly. The aliens had spent thousands of years fighting wars with massive fleets and overwhelming firepower. They expected enemies to announce themselves, to fight with honor and dignity. Humans had learned different lessons from their history. "Missiles away," Cole ordered. "Fire and relocate. Standard hit-and-run protocol." Silent missiles streaked through space. By the time the Talon escorts detected them, it was too late. Explosions rippled across 3 freighters. The escorts scrambled to respond, their weapons charging. But the Defiant was already gone, jumping to faster-than-light speed. Before the aliens could lock weapons, the attack took 90 seconds from first shot to retreat. Similar strikes happened across the galaxy. Human ships appeared without warning, hit their targets, and vanished before reinforcements arrived. They targeted supply lines, fuel depots, communication stations, never military bases or populated worlds. They were not trying to kill. They were trying to disrupt. And it was working. 17 attacks this week alone. Vorn roared at the assembled council 4 months after the blockade began. "Our shipping lanes are paralyzed. Colonies are not receiving supplies. The humans are making fools of us. We simply need to increase patrols," Commander Brock of the Cawthon military suggested. His insect-like face clicked with confidence. "Station more warships along the trade routes." "We have tripled patrols," Rex countered. "It does not matter. Human ships are small and fast. They strike where we are weakest, then disappear. It is like fighting shadows." Ambassador Torah spoke up from his seat. "Perhaps we should reconsider the blockade." Vorn turned on him with fury. "Reconsider? We are the Galactic Council. We have ruled for 10,000 years. We do not surrender to primitives who have barely left their home system." "They are not primitives," Torah said quietly. "Not anymore." Before Vorn could respond, alarms blared throughout the council chamber. Red lights flashed. "What is happening?" Vorn demanded. A technician's voice came through the communication system. "Multiple human vessels have entered this sector. They are heading toward the council station." "Impossible." The council station was in neutral space, protected by the largest defense fleet in the galaxy. 300 warships guarded this location at all times. VORN pulled up visual feeds on the main display. His blood went cold. 30 human ships emerged from faster-than-light travel in perfect formation. They were not massive dreadnoughts, just medium-sized cruisers and frigates. But there was something terrifying about the way they moved. Precise, coordinated, without hesitation. All Defense Fleet ships intercept. Vorn commanded. The Council's warships moved to engage. They outnumbered the humans 10-1. Victory should have been certain. The battle lasted 18 minutes. Human ships moved like nothing the aliens had ever seen. They did not form battle lines or engage in traditional combat. Instead, they swarmed, using speed and unpredictable maneuvers. When Council ships fired their massive energy weapons, humans were already somewhere else. When Council ships tried to surround them, humans scattered and regrouped in seconds. The humans fired missiles in waves, dozens at a time, overwhelming defense systems. They targeted engines and weapons, disabling ships rather than destroying them. When it was over, 47 Council warships drifted in space, crippled but with crews intact. The human fleet had lost 3 ships. Then the human commander opened a communication channel. Her face appeared on every screen in the Council chamber, a woman with short gray hair and hard eyes. "This is Admiral Kate Ross of the Earth Defense Fleet," she said calmly. "We did not come here to conquer. We came here to deliver a message. Lift the blockade. Recognize humanity as equals. Or this is just the beginning." The communication cut off. The human ships jumped away, vanishing as quickly as they had arrived. Asterisk. In the Council chamber, silence reigned. Vorn stared at the empty space where the human fleet had been, his 3 eyes wide with something he had not felt in decades. Fear. Asterisk the emergency. Council session convened within hours of Admiral Ross's message. For the first time in recorded history, every single member species attended. The chamber buzzed with fear and anger. We must respond with overwhelming force. Commander Brock slammed his appendage on his console. Gather every fleet in the galaxy and crush the humans once and for all. And how many ships will we lose? Ambassador Tora asked. How many of our people will die? The humans have shown they can strike anywhere, anytime. They have defeated our best defenses with a fraction of our numbers, because they fight without honor. Brock shouted. They use cowardly tactics. They use effective tactics, Tora corrected. There is a difference. Vorn sat in his elevated chair, unusually silent. His scales had lost their vibrant color. The attack on the Council station had shaken him deeply. For months, he had believed humanity would break. Instead, they had struck at the heart of galactic power and made it look easy. What do you propose? Vorn finally asked Tora, his voice tired. I propose we listen, Tora replied. Actually listen. Not to dictate terms, but to negotiate. The Council does not negotiate with what? Tora interrupted. Species we underestimated? Species we tried to bully into submission? Chancellor, the humans have proven they cannot be defeated easily. They have also proven they do not want conquest. They disabled our ships rather than destroying them. They could have killed thousands at the Council station. They chose not to. Vorn closed his 3 eyes. Deep down, he knew Tora was right. But pride was a difficult thing to swallow. Before he could respond, another alarm sounded. A communication request from humanity. Put it through, Vorn said quietly. Ambassador Lisa Grant appeared on the display, standing beside Admiral Ross. Behind them, dozens of human ships were visible through the windows. The entire Earth Defense Fleet, positioned in orbit around a human colony world. Chancellor Vorn, Lisa began, her voice formal but not hostile. We are transmitting coordinates for a neutral meeting place. We request peace negotiations to end this conflict. You attacked our station. Brock shouted. You crippled our ships. And now you ask for peace? We ask for peace because we do not want war, Admiral Ross replied. We disabled your ships to prove a point, not to start a massacre. Every crew member survived. We could have done much worse. Is that a threat? Vorn asked. It is a fact, Ross said simply. We have spent the last 4 months preparing for full-scale war. We have converted civilian factories into weapons production. We have trained millions of volunteers. We have positioned fleet assets throughout this sector. If this conflict continues, both sides will suffer greatly. But it does not have to continue. Lisa stepped forward. We do not want to rule the galaxy. We do not want to destroy the Council. We simply want to be treated as equals. Give us fair representation. Give us respect. In return, we will contribute to galactic peace and prosperity. And if we refuse? Vorn asked, though his heart was not in the question. Then we will fight, Lisa said without hesitation. And we will win. Not today, perhaps not this year, but eventually. Because that is what humans do. We endure, we adapt, and we prevail. The council chamber fell silent. Every delegate understood the truth in her words. They had seen human determination firsthand. Ambassador Tora stood. I move to lift the blockade immediately and begin formal negotiations for full human membership in the Galactic Council. Seconded, came a voice from the Nexian delegation. Then another from the Kovar species, then dozens more. Vorn looked around the chamber, seeing agreement on faces that had mocked humanity just months ago. Fear had taught them what arrogance could not. Very well, Vorn said, his voice heavy with defeat and grudging respect. The blockade is lifted. Ambassador Grant, we accept your terms for negotiations. Lisa nodded. Thank you, Chancellor. We will meet in 3 days at the coordinates provided. The communication ended. 2 weeks later, a new treaty was signed. Humanity gained full council membership with equal voting rights. In exchange, humans agreed to share their unconventional military strategies to help defend the galaxy from external threats. They also agreed to establish joint training programs with other species. The ceremony was formal and dignified. When Lisa Grant signed the treaty, Vorn approached her privately. You knew, he said quietly. From the beginning, you knew we would underestimate you. Lisa met his gaze. Yes, it is the oldest human strategy. Let your enemy assume you are weak. Then prove them wrong when it matters most. I will not make that mistake again, Vorn promised. I hope no one does, Lisa replied. Because next time we might not be so merciful. She walked away, leaving Vorn with the uncomfortable realization that humanity had not just won a war. They had taught the galaxy a lesson about pride and assumptions. Years later, when historians wrote about this period, they called it the awakening, the moment the galaxy learned that strength came in many forms, and that wisdom meant recognizing it before the battle began. Humanity had struck when the galaxy did not see it coming, but more importantly, they had shown mercy when victory was assured. That was the real reason. They earned their place among the stars. The end. Asterisk.